I am a poor Nigerian lawyer. Help! In our days, studying law was exclusive. You needed to be academically sound. Now the terrain has probably changed. There are other equally lucrative professions. I shall treat this topic from the perspective of an entrepreneur, a coach, and an older citizen. Though the topic specifically mentions the lawyer, the principles discussed could be applied to other professionals. As a disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just proffering solutions to a common problem. Hello, one and all. Thank you very much for joining. This is Lookman. We have online presence on the following platforms. We have our Facebook group, which is 123 of Bees. We also have another one, which is Empowerment, Inspiration, and Support. Our YouTube channel is Lookman. We have some books on Amazon. If you go to amazon.com and you check for Lookman, you should find a few of our books. We also have a membership site, 123ofbees.vipmembervault.com. Our mission is to empower and inspire generations by leveraging the internet. As a qualified lawyer, you probably have great academic skills. You also have transferable skills. You are likely to have high net worth because of your high network, family, friends, and colleagues. Some of them may even be influential. I know that the pandemic has caused chaos to most economies, but it has also created lots of opportunities. Are you aware that you could upskill at a fraction of traditional costs, in the comfort of your home, and at your desired times? Are you aware that you could convert your passion into money and impact the many? I know the story of some Nigerian professionals who were compelled to study what they did, not because of passion, but because of family pressure, peer pressure, and societal pressure. If your passion is indeed law, have you considered being the people's lawyer? Making the knowledge of law and the Constitution, the Nigerian Constitution, have you tried to make it easily accessible to all? Almost at the tip of their finger. You could start with the highest demanding or trending topics, maybe family law, divorce, traditional marriage, religious marriages, citizens' rights and responsibilities, protests, inheritance, business, joint ventures, leadership, property, etc. The topics could actually be prioritized, which means you do those which are most in demand first and those least in demand last, so you could prioritize them. You could use one or more online platforms to pass your message, maybe via blogs, podcasts, social media, membership sites, etc. You could also include case studies and could do it in one or more languages. Just for argument's sake, you might want to start with English and Pidgin English, because those are the common languages to virtually all Nigerians. And then gradually you can do the translating or translations into other Nigerian languages based on demand. So for argument's sake, you can start with the 3 major languages and then filter down to other languages. You could do this in different formats. It could be in text, audio, video, sign language. You could make enlightening comments as necessary. You could use easily understandable terminologies, not the law, not the old English or no all those languages that the common man may not understand. Make it very easy to understand. You to lighten the load because it's going to be a heavy load. You might want to collaborate and agree on profit sharing formulas with collaborators. Though you would prioritize the topics, you'll continue updating as necessary. You should have your monetization strategy. It could be through adverts, sponsorships, affiliate marketing, etc. If you are academically minded, you must have spotted gaps in the academia. Could you leverage the internet to share tips for upcoming lawyers, either professionally or academically? Could you create content to manage expectations of would-be lawyers, advising on pros and cons and honest realities? Do you have study tips? Are there pitfalls you could guide against? Are there suggestions in improving the learning experience? Could you produce learning content in other formats, audio, video, etc.? Could you mentor or coach by leveraging the internet? Also, by researching the internet, your thoughts and creativity could be stimulated, so other ideas might actually come to mind. For example, if you research how lawyers make money, or maybe how they make money on the internet, etc., and ideas will keep coming to your head, and of course you note them down, and if you need help, you seek help and find a way of executing. Now, could you convert case laws into digital formats? I have a feeling the late Carew, may soul rest in peace. I think he actually did something on case laws. He compiled them into books. But in this day and age, it's a very fast age. You want something at the tip of your fingers. So maybe you could convert the case laws into digital formats such that you can do an easy search and within a second or so or a minute, you have the different case loads, and it helps your efficiency and your productivity. It will save lawyers time and effort and making them more efficient and productive. With your intellectual capabilities, have you considered running a think tank, researching and advising politicians and other leaders? The other day, I asked one of my lawyer friends, in one of our WhatsApp platforms, I asked the question casually, are there think tanks in Nigeria? He said, no formal think tanks. You just have some thought leaders, they give their comments or their opinions and that's it. But in the Western world, you actually have people whose day job is to is doing the think tanking. They research topics, they advise governments, and they are paid for their service. They could either advise government or advise political parties, etc. But that's their main job, to research and provide solutions to problems. Obviously, Nigeria has a lot of problems. Yes, most countries have problems, but I don't think Nigeria should be where it is. And if we do it in a structured way, apart from you impacting those political leaders, political parties or leaders, thought leaders and so on, you can also make money and make an impact. Have you considered public speaking? Thank you, Yusuf Wasiu, for joining. Thank you. Have you considered public speaking in community groups or other gatherings so that you're able to make an impact? And if you need to charge for it, you charge. Have you considered writing books, whether digital or otherwise? I can tell you that the process is not as expensive and as cheap, as expensive and as cumbersome as you may think. Have you not, the topics may not necessarily be just in law, it may be in other areas of interest, just for argument's sake. As a lawyer, that is a box you might put yourself into, but you are also maybe somebody who has had life experiences. You might be somebody who's traveled far and wide and you've gained a lot of experience, exposure, etc. You can actually monetize that. So by sharing your thoughts, maybe in books, digital books, paperbacks, over the internet, etc., and you can make money from it. Have you considered venturing into partnerships where you become the legal backbone? In order to lighten the burden, you could have a team. By exploring, have a team, you have a profit sharing formula, etc. If you need finance, you could probably raise finance over the internet, crowdfunding, etc. Or you might actually tap into your network, and they might be able to contribute towards it, either as a gift or as part of the investment in the business. By exploring all the above, maybe you may not be poor, maybe you may be rich, maybe you may be wealthy, and maybe you can actually make other people wealthy and you can impact other people. Remember, the terrain has changed. When we were growing up, there were few universities in Nigeria, so there was not as much competition. You can get away with a lot of things and you can make a lot of money. But now you have so many universities, government universities, private universities, online universities, etc. The terrain has changed. There's greater competition in the workplace. It's for us to change with the tide and reinvent ourselves. Only if survival is of importance. And finally, you could even research and adapt best practice from other lands. You might see them doing different things in different ways, and you can adapt it to the situation in Nigeria. You could tweak it to suit the Nigerian audience. And I'm sure that it's very, very, very legitimate. I think it's called best practice. You're making use of best practice. I hope that I've made some sense and that you found value. Our next session shall be on Wednesday, the 3rd of March 21 at 6:30 p.m. GMT, by God's grace. The topic shall be, I am a talented, young, poor Nigerian poet. Help! Please share this video with possible beneficiaries and type your comments below. Also, feel free to contact me on Facebook Messenger. You can do a search for Jack Lookman. Thank you very, very, very much for your time. Have a great year. This is Jack Lookman. Thank you.